good Thursday morning, a beautiful summer Thursday. We sat here yesterday and talked about this Verlander matchup with the Astros after you called them the best team in baseball, and we had a bad feeling about the game. How could you not, with the way that they had played against the Astros and the way that Verlander was pitching, and certainly it did work out that way in the end, even though it was close and Taijuan Walker was matching Verlander for 8 innings, but they lose, and now they've got a 3-game losing streak, and the Braves seemingly win every night, and that gap is getting closer. The Yankees, Stanton, Judge, home runs, beating a bad team, have an unbelievable record, and continue to just crush the American League. And the Knicks miss out on a big trade target that I don't even know if they were all that serious about. Maybe they just threw their hat in the ring towards the end because Leon Rose is essentially asleep at the wheel right now, and he thinks that Jalen Brunson is the next Wilt Chamberlain. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
He's hoping that he's going to be the next Clyde Frazier is what he's hoping. Yeah. Not Wilt Chamberlain. But, it's interesting looking. I think the Braves won 20-5 during June, and I believe the Mets are 13-12. And right there it tells you all you need to know about where the Mets are headed and where the Braves are coming from. But now comes the part of the schedule where you got to be able to match up with these teams, Texas and Miami, and then you're going to see the Braves, and then you're going to see the Cubs. So they got to get, the month of July off to a good start. And like I said, 60 wins at the break is something that's attainable. And I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. And Houston's the best team in baseball. They are. They're good. They're sound. They're fundamentally sound. They come up with key hits. They got great pitching. And they will add at the trade deadline, as all these teams will. The good news for the New York Mets, they will not see Houston again unless we see them in the World Series, which is a very big possibility because Houston and the Yankees will be the ones that will be duking it out over in the AL.
Well, the Mets have to get healthy, of course, with the starting rotation, and Scherzer came out of his rehab start against the Yard Goats last night. Feeling pretty good, so he said no more rehab starts after that rehab start last night, so hopefully we'll see him soon. And they got to do some stuff. I mean, their DH situation is not good enough for a good baseball team.
No, that's why they'll change. They'll make moves.
Yeah, I mean, okay, at the trade deadline, though, we're just going to watch some of the same slop for the next month. Like, that's the thing I'm worried about.
Believe me, they're not sitting around doing nothing. They see exactly what we see. They know exactly what's going on. They know that, it will be a help, certainly, when Scherzer comes back. I don't know if we'll ever see Jacob deGrom again, which is really sad.
What did I hear? I heard Erica say at the top of the hour at 5 o'clock, she did the update, he threw to 2 batters yesterday? That was it? That's all he did? Was throw to 2 batters? I mean, he's not anywhere near coming back if that's the case.
Yeah, well.
Or maybe she misspoke, or maybe I misheard it. I don't know. It's like, hey, Jacob deGrom threw to 2 batters yesterday. I was like, all right, great. Really taking a big step forward with that one.
Right. So when you kind of compartmentalize the schedule and understand like what's going on and who the team is playing, Texas comes here now. You got to take 2 out of 3 from them. You got to sweep Miami. You got to maybe try to take. You're going down to Atlanta to play in Atlanta. The last thing you need to be there is swept, because I'll tell you what would really be here's the other side of all of this. I want the Mets to get to 60 wins minimum before the break. The other side of it is if they continue to lose and Atlanta overtakes them before the break, that would be like after all the good feeling, after the entire good start and everybody feeling good about everything.
Here we go.
Here we go. Right, exactly.
This is what, but
that's the last thing you want, and that's why you don't want to. I hate it's fall. It's going to fall right on Buck Showalter. It's him to right the ship. It's him to get this thing right. We're all happy he's here. It's time to get this team back in gear and beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, and that's the Rangers, Reds, and Marlins, and then. Of course, you got the Braves and the Cubs, and the Cubs stink too. So.
I'm just like avoiding. I'm feeling that pull.
Don't let it happen.
I'm feeling that pull into the Mets negativity land. It's like a tug of war.
We were there yesterday, and you wanted to bet on the Mets losing yesterday.
Well, I felt like it was a lock,
and I wouldn't let you do that.
I just couldn't do it because you're not supposed to bet against your team. But I mean, Don't you feel like we're getting tugged into that Met negativity
Yeah,
land?
I don't want to go there. That's why I keep talking about the schedule and who they're playing.
Yeah, well, yeah. If we see them falter against these teams, and then the Braves continue to win, and you're right, the Braves overtake the Mets somehow before the All-Star break, then yeah, at that point, then we are sitting in Met negativity land. There's nothing we can do about it.
So this is where the experience of Buck Showalter comes in. It's time for Buck ball, and it's time to you just got slapped around by Houston 4 games.
They should be. I mean, that should. They should be embarrassed by that, right? I mean, don't you think they should do that? Should be a catalyst for them to be like, we got to wake up and be better.
Well, I think of course, we were talking about this, and then Joel Sherman writes the same article that we've been talking about how good Houston is and how it's a wake up call for the New York baseball teams. Blah 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 blah. It is. And Taijuan Walker pitched great yesterday, so I don't want to take anything away from him.
It was awesome.
But it's the hitting. It's the hitting that's gone cold again. I guess especially against really good pitching. So this is like a crossroads moment for the Mets season, I think. And there's a long way to go, but
this is one of the many forks in the road.
If you come to the break and you are behind the Braves,
that's terrible. And when you were up 10.5 games at one point,
right,
that would be terrible.
Right.
But I mean, we're not there yet. Things are a hell of a lot easier with the schedule, as you mentioned. I'm not going to freak out yet. If they're back 5-6 games up at the break, which they should be, and they face the Braves as well, then all will be fine. But this is a fork in the road. You're right. This is a crossroads spot.
Crossroads, fork in the road, whatever kind of fork, whatever you want to call
spot.
It. It's a moment in time.
Yeah.
Where you either seize the moment or you let the moment seize you.
Man, I feel like we should get you into the clubhouse.
Well, I think it's up to Buck Showalter to, enough. This is not acceptable.
I don't know if he strikes me as a guy that would, at this point, give one of those speeches to the team.
Well, I think the point being is that they play 162 games. They're with each other every single day.
Yeah.
You're trying to keep from getting sick of each other, and the only way you can do that is to win, because ultimately the best deodorant for a team is to win. Everybody likes each other. Like, look at the Yankees. I mean, they're just sailing right along. Now you need a home run, he'll hit one. You need a home run, they'll hit one. You need this, you need that. You get it. You beat the crappy teams, and they
almost every single time,
which is great.
It's awesome.
Exactly what you want.
What are they? 36 games over right now.
Yeah, and you want home runs. You want guys having great years. You want all of that stuff, and that's what they have. I don't want to take anything away from them, but Houston's a better team than them.
Ha! See, I'm not ready to say that. They're the second best team in baseball. I'll give you that. I cannot say that there's a team better than the Yankees right now. I just can't. I mean, if Houston had swept the Yankees, or they took 3 out of 4 or whatever,
it took. I know it doesn't matter if the first inning or the ninth inning, but you saw what it took for the Yankees to beat Houston in the 2 games that they won.
Okay, so
I mean, Houston's bullpen kind of faltered, and guess what? They'll reinforce that bullpen. They'll get it right.
And so will the Yankees. They'll reinforce whatever they need to do, too.
Why did they beat the Athletics yesterday?
Well, they hit some home runs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
hitting home runs.
That's and it's working.
And they got a 13-game lead, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they're just smoking everybody.
I mean, how about the Red Sox? I mean, we were talking about them selling at the trade deadline, and now they're 10 games over.
Yeah, I told you, like I don't take credit for stuff like this. When I hear stuff like this, I think it's kind of interesting. And Susan brought it up on the broadcast the other night. I think the Red Sox were like 19-5 during June, kind of like what the Braves have been doing.
Yeah, right.
Well, the Braves have been catching the Mets. The Red Sox have actually lost a game or 2 against the Yankees because the Yankees have been better in June.
Yeah, which is nuts to think. I mean,
which is crazy.
I mean, what are they on pace? They're on the same pace as the '98 Yankees at this point. 56-20.
Oh, it's a special season for sure, but all of this stuff goes for naught if they don't beat Houston in the ALCS.
Well, yeah, we all know that.
All right, so let's enjoy the ride.
But this is what we've been talking about from the beginning. I mean, it's tough to enjoy the ride.
What are they gonna need to beat Houston in the ALCS? That's the question.
To continue to play like this. I mean, that's what they need to do. They're big players that are already on the team to not disappear in the playoffs. Like, Judge, Stanton, I mean, all these guys. I mean, you need to hit. That's been their problem in the postseason, is they don't hit. All right,
but isn't it the same type of team?
Wow, they're the exact same record as they were in 1998, 56-20. But the Yankees went on a big, long winning streak at that point, the 98 Yankees, that is. And they got up to 65-20.
Did they really? Yeah. Shut up. 65 and 20?
65-20.
All right, so 65-20, was that the halfway point for them?
That was Sunday, July 12th.
Yes, that's about the halfway point.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see who they have here now. So, of course, the Yankees now go on the road, and they go play Houston again.
Right, that one makeup game, yep.
Maybe that's the rubber game.
So, yeah, well, true. Because,
right?
Yeah, they ended up splitting the 4.
Right, so that game happens to be tonight.
That is right.
And you got Severino versus Garcia, so we'll get a close end. But then, then they go to Cleveland. Then they got 2 in Pittsburgh. I mean, come on. And then there's 4 in Boston. Then they got 3 at home versus Cincinnati, and then 3 at home versus Boston.
And that's the break at that point?
That's the break. So what do you think?
You want to do another one of these? Figure out, all right, they're gonna sweep Cleveland and Pittsburgh. They'll take 3 out of 4 from Boston. All 3 against Cincinnati.
So they have 16 games before the break.
All right. 12-4.
12-4, 68-24 would be their record.
Yeah, which would not be the same pace, I don't believe, as the 98 Yankees. No, it would be. 68-20. They were also 68-24.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Breaking it down. Like nobody breaks it down like we do, man. We go in depth into the schedule.
14 games up in the division at that point, too.
Okay.
Man, oh, man. It's incredible that they are having this type of regular season. You never get a chance to compare regular season teams to the 98 Yankees.
That's why tonight's game is so important against Houston.
So important.
The nice thing for the Yankees,
middle of the season,
and the nice thing is for the Yankees that at least Houston basically had the same travel situation as the Yankees.
That's right. Yeah, both
leaving.
had
the getaway game yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Leaving New York, going to Houston.
Won. So I'm sure the flight was very good to Houston.
I'm sure it was.
And the question is Booney going to give the guys a little bit of a pep talk going into tonight's game?
Well, another thing is Yordan Alvarez going to play after that collision yesterday out in left field where he had to be carted off. So that could be something.
That's huge for the Yankees.
I mean, if he is out of the lineup for an extended period of time.
And then that's not a real indication as to who Houston is.
I'm going to have to get you like an Altuve jersey or something.
No, I don't want.
You're going over the top.
I'm just telling you what I see.
Yeah, this was one of those scary moments out there. It gets hit in the face. Maybe possible concussion. I'm not sure what the update was on Yordan Alvarez.
They held on to the ball, too. That's the amazing thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if that were a Met, that ball would have been rolling all the way to the wall. Guy would have been running around the bases.
All 3 guys just be laying there.
Guy got hit in the face. He's fine.
Well, I don't know. He got carted off.
I mean, hockey players get hit in the face with a puck all the time. They go back, they get stitched up, and they come back out.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, though, man, in a situation like this.
Well, I mean,
you never know. He ended up having to be helped off the field. Look at him. He was struggling.
Yeah.
What do you mean? And he's a big, tough guy, too, so obviously something happened.
They're playing the Yankees tonight. He's got to be there. He's got to show up. What do you do, got an elbow to the chin?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it, yeah.
I mean, that happened. How many? Come on.
Here's the slow-mo. Well, there's a lot of
angles here. It's a forearm to the right cheek.
Yeah, might have given him concussion. You don't know.
A little baby concussion, maybe?
A little baby concussion.
Maybe, yeah.
Is there such a thing as a baby concussion?
Is he going to be in the lineup tonight or not?
I'm going to say no. He's not. I'm going to say no. He's not
going to pull a Jimmy Garoppolo?
I don't know. No, man, Yordan Alvarez is a big, tough guy. He just happened to get clipped here. There's no reason to rush him back.
Well, tonight's one of those bellwether games.
Bellwether spot.
Yeah, I think
you are
so,
out of
yes.
your. What happens if the Yankees lose? Honestly, what happens?
Then we'll have to come in and discuss it, and we'll figure it all out. And it's a big game tonight. Big game.
All right. I mean, I don't see it the same way you do.
People should watch it. People need to see it. You got 2 of the best teams.
Yeah, I don't know if it needs your promotion. I think people will be.
Well, you got the best team
into
in Houston, and then the second best team in the Yankees.
No, the best team in the Yankees and the second best team, the Houston Astros. All right, it is Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network. We got Jerry in here to give you all the details on the Mets and Yankees and the Knicks and the trades and the. Sure, do you want to do it now while we're about to do the reads?
No, it has something to do with Jerry and
okay.
the update. Like the games were at 1:00 yesterday. Doesn't everybody know what the no?
Those people just waking up? No.
The game was at 1 o'clock yesterday, Al.
So he won't give any Mets or Yankees.
Well, he could say, hey, the Mets won. The Mets lost, the Yankees won.
Could be some interesting post-game sound.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, some funny sound.
All right.
Would you not like an update? Is that what you're saying?
No, I love
You
it.
just rather talk?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, I know. It really doesn't. Should we tell him to stay in the newsroom?
No, not
You
at
could
all.
just say how great the Astros are for another 40 minutes.
Right, and then we'll break down the NHL entry draft. Maybe we'll do that. Sound good?